community to do something about it. 910 AM Superstation. We're the hottest station in town. WFDF Farmington Hills, Detroit. 910 AM Superstation, a division of Adele Media. The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 910 AM Superstation or Adele Media. Good morning, Metro Detroit. It's Kerry Leon Jackson, the Urban Conservative. How are you this morning? Time now is 6 o'clock in the morning. If you've got to be there by 7 o'clock, you've got 1 hour to get there. Listen to the 910 AM Superstation, Metro Detroit's only urban talk radio station. The number here in the studio is 313-778-7600. 313-778-7600. Yeah, my sound stopped up a little bit. My allergies are beating me up. They have been all night. It happens. I'll be addressing that later on in the day. Just ask you to, hang with me with this funny sounding voice today. I'm frustrated, and I'm not going to be the only one that's going to be frustrated. I understand that. First of all, last night before going to bed, I posted that the one thing that I did want to talk about today was ageism in politics. The fact that the GOP has a party full of old white men has decided that the one issue that they want to talk about is Joe Biden's age over and over and over again, as if they want to use that to scare you, to think, oh my God, he might die if you vote for him again. He's too old. He might be senile. Uh-oh, did y'all see it? He failed. He tripped and failed. Even though it's the job of the Secret Service to make sure that he doesn't fall, he failed. Guess what? Trump falls. Trump failed during his presidency. Don't remember Barack Obama slipping and falling. I have no idea. Probably happened. Guess what? People fall. Several weeks. And I'm not that old. All right. I'm one of these believers that, as I get closer to my 60th birthday later this year, that I'm doing what I can to try and stay in at least the shape I was in when I was 40 to 45. Yeah, I know I'm not there yet, but I'm working on it. But probably 3-4 months ago, while I was out walking, I slipped and fell. And while I was downtown, I slipped and fell. I tripped on the sidewalk and fell. Did not injure myself enough that I need to tell the, go think about filing no lawsuits against the city of Detroit or anything. I slipped and fell. It happens. I wanted to talk about, ageism in politics. That is age discrimination against people based on this thought that you can complain that somebody's too old to run for political office. It's actually what I really, really wanted. I wanted to talk about it for several days. It's what I wanted to talk about last night. And then, what happens? News happens. Stuff happens that knock what you want to talk about out of the way. And so we're going to talk about ageism in politics next week. We're not going to talk about that today. I see that Tim's on the line, and Tim's not. Tim, I just want you to listen, stay in. This is not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the story that's on the news this morning that you'll hear about throughout the day today. And I don't know the answer. This is one of those things I can't even suggest to you what the heck to do. I don't know that there's an answer for why someone leaves a gun laying out on the table, and whether it was on the table or wherever it wasn't in a gun safe. And for those folks, it's like, well, you can't have it in the safe because, you need it out in case somebody comes in. You got to be able to grab it and defend yourself. You obviously know nothing about gun safes, all right? And let me just say this. I'm in and out of enough people's houses, maybe 10 to 15 different people's houses every single week. Folks in the white community have gun safes, and they have plenty of guns. I mean, I posted the pictures. The folks in that community, they're ready for a war. They've stockpiling guns. Kids are not walking around grabbing the guns and just shooting other babies in the house with it. This has happened time and time again in our community, and it doesn't seem to be stopping. This is not something that you can call in. Those of you who are the usual, it's the white man's fault. This is not the white man's fault. This is not. It's the people in our community that simply refuse to use a free trigger lock or refuse to put a gun up and someplace where it's safe so that babies can't find it. And once again, a 6-year-old, it's a baby, found a gun and shot their 1-year-old sibling. I don't know what the heck to do, but I'm glad that we've been joined this morning by Minister Malik Shabazz. Good morning, Minister. How are you?
Good morning, Grand Rising, Brother Kerry. How are you? The family.
I don't know. I'm just out of breath. I'm frustrated. And let me tell you this: if I'm frustrated, I know how you've got to feel. Listen, y'all. I might believe that I do stuff for the community. I know good well what this brother's been doing all of the years since I've been in town, and I know good and well. I can't even say that I've done 0.5% of what he does every single day. You were out last night. I saw your video post. And even though you and I talked yesterday, I didn't know that you were going out here and that you were putting together an event for a protest to go out and work in the community last night. But I think that, but tell us, because let me say this: have you talked to your guest for today? The person, your very special guest who's scheduled to come over, is he still going to be able to make it today, or is he going to be out dealing with this baby shooting a baby?
Tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow?
It's tomorrow.
Oh, so we all got plenty of time.
Friday.
All right. So tell us, first of all, tell us who the guest is. And whether it's today or tomorrow, you know good well that the folks that are going to show up, the questions are going to be, and he's going to be just as frustrated as everybody else. How do we get these guns out of there? What can we do to try and convince folks in our own community to stop leaving loaded firearms where a small child can come get it and turn around and shoot a sibling with it?
Well, one, we definitely want to pray for those babies and for that family. It's terrible. 6-year-old, 1-year-old, both of my babies. You know, I have a 5-year-old in my house, and she a granddaughter. She has my heart, and it's just unimaginable. You know, we're going to have to do better. We need to be honest with ourselves as a Black people, as a African people, as original people on the planet Earth, that we have a crime, violence, slime, drug, violence problem. Now, let me say this, because I have evolved. When I began, it was 99% white supremacy, and I'm still on white supremacy as the root cause of our problems globally. However, the greatest weapon of white supremacy, it's not a tank, it's not the courts, it is the mindset and heart set of our people. And the guns are made available to us, no accident. The drugs are made available to us, no accident. The plan, the willful, skillful, and purposefully planned deindustrialization of the inner cities of America creates a horrific education. It sets us up for exactly what too many of us are doing to one another. And even those of us who are not doing these egregious violations on one another, the apathy, oh, well, it's a shame. It's just another dead trigger. I said trigger. None of this is by accident, but the solution. Look, neither the Democrats or the Republicans, and I go with the Democrats because I feel like I don't have a choice. but neither one of them is going to solve this problem. Whitmer can't solve it. Duggan can't solve it. The only ones who can solve it is Black people calling on the permission and the authority of Almighty God. We can solve it, but you can't just leave your guns laying around. You can get free gun locks, no question. They're not going to ask, do you have a CPL or what kind of guns you have? You need a gun lock here. As a matter of fact, I need to call my guests and tell them tomorrow they need to bring some down there to Wayne County Community College District. Yeah, that vigil you saw us at yesterday, that was a vigil for a young man, Brandon. Oh Lord, I'm sorry, I can't even remember his last name. Young man who was both shot and ran over by a car. It's a complicated case because it deals with both Highland Park and Detroit. He was shot in one spot and ran over in another. And it's like both sides are playing, passing it back and forth, hot potato. But the family has asked for our help. And as always, we're going to try to do everything we can to find out what is the best way to proceed forward. But it comes down to love.
So wait, we haven't told anybody yet who your guest is. We haven't told anybody who your guest is going to be tomorrow.
Yes, sir. My simplistic answer is love. It comes down to love. We got to love one another. Our guest tomorrow at our class is going to be Chief James White. This is not a, I've heard some of the criticism from some who don't know and want to perk like they know about this. This is an opportunity for the people, for, like the late Tatum Eason would say, LaShonda and Shaniqua and Ray Ray, for us to come and to talk to the chief. Now, during the question and answer session, you may only have 2 minutes, but the brass is staying after the chief leaves. Homicide and rape and dope and missing people and whatnot. It doesn't matter if it was 20 years ago or 20 minutes ago. You don't have a resolution. You don't have conclusion. You don't have justice. They're going to stay. We want to bring new energy to these so-called cold cases because, see, many people, I'm sorry to say, are repeat murderers and robbers and rapists and whatever it is that they're doing. They repeat, either till Jesus reaches them or they end up locked up. So we want to bring new energy to these cases. And when you bring new energy to the so-called cold cases, you're actually fighting future crimes. So this is important. People will have an opportunity. Maybe you need new detectives. People haven't talked. Mothers haven't talked to their detectives since their child was shot, since their child was disappeared. This is an opportunity, and we should not let this moment pass us by. Plus, I want to meet these mamas and family members, and I want to embrace them and pray for them and pray with them, and I want to help them out on the street in reference to their cases. But we are asking from here on out, everyone who is physically and mentally able, and we have mothers who are very mentally challenged, and they...
Hold on a second. Hold on. We got to... You part of the family, you know, we got to take these breaks. Don't go anywhere, y'all. We're talking with Minister Malik Shabazz about an opportunity for you to meet Chief White of the Detroit Police Department tomorrow and some of the other issues going on in our community. We got to take the first break of the morning. It's a very quick break. We'll be right back.
Have you thought about advertising your business on our 910 a.m. Superstation? Our audience is bigger than ever, and your investment will be lower than ever. Find out how you can grow your business. Give us a call during business hours and ask for Henry, 248-357-4566. We will tell your story, and more folks than ever before will come to your door. 248-357-4566. Ask for Henry. The super audience at our 910 Superstation wants to hear about you. Call now. The all-new 910 Superstation is your number one source for urban talk radio. If you're looking for the best in radio programming, look no further. You can now listen in on a multitude of audio platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Listen Notes, and coming soon to Amazon Music, Good Pods, and Overcast. 910 AM Superstation, the largest, strongest, 50,000-watt urban radio station in town.
Did you know most vitamin supplements don't even come from food? Even the products with colorful fruits and vegetables adorning the labels are seldom derived from produce. Typically, supplements are synthetic, made in a laboratory. Modern science may synthetically imitate these chemicals, but your body isn't fooled. It knows the difference, and it craves quality materials to build, repair, and fight illness. You need to consume fruits and vegetables daily in a variety of colors, as well as whole grains and other fresh food. That's why I formulated Balance of Nature. I wanted to be able to give my patients a natural alternative to the cheap, unnatural chemistry by giving them real fruits and vegetables. In fact, the only ingredients inside a Balance of Nature are whole fruits and vegetables. Don't settle for imitation nutrition. Reach for the good stuff, the real stuff.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code RADIO5.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. We create professional materials representing your idea and submit it to companies who are looking for new ideas. We have more than 9,000 companies who've agreed to review ideas in confidence. If a company shows interest in manufacturing your invention, we can negotiate on your behalf. We have helped over 10,000 clients receive patents. We also offer services including 3D modeling and animation demonstrating your idea, prototyping services, and we use state-of-the-art technology to show InventHelp client ideas to additional companies. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp.
Call us for free information at 1-800-460-1663. That's 1-800-460-1663. Again, 1-800-460-1663.
Welcome back, Metro Detroit. This is Kerry Leon Jackson, your urban conservative. Listen to 910 AM Superstation, Metro Detroit's only urban talk radio station. The number here in the studio is 313-778-7600. On the line with us now is Minister Malik Shabazz. He's starting to tell you a little bit about an opportunity to come out and meet the head of the Detroit Police Department and all of his top brass, all of them, so that you can have a connection between the community and the police who are in our community and paid to be charged with having to be in our community, protect and serve. You've got an opportunity to come out and meet all of them tomorrow. Minister, tell us where and when can they come out and hear the chief speak tomorrow?
It will be tomorrow, that's Friday, at 11:30 a.m. at Wayne County Community College District, downtown 4th Street campus, in the Frank Hayden room, the big room, 236, and it's free. And if you have any flyers, posters of your loved one who's missing or murdered or whatever, please bring it. Put it in the chief's hand. Put it in the chief's hand and write your number on there. Put it in the chief's hand. This event is for real. We need to take advantage of it and stop the la-la. Well, the trigger supported Kwame. Kwame ain't coming. Well, the trigger supported Mike. Mike ain't coming. This ain't about that. if it's arson, if it's burglary, whatever your unsolved crimes are, or you haven't reported a crime or whatever, this is a golden opportunity to meet the police, to meet the chief, to get a chance to talk to him, to get a chance to talk to the brass, to get some new energy, get some attention brought to your concerns so that we can move towards a resolution. Again, we have thousands of unsolved crimes, but together we can work on turning all of that around. And we want to meet these families. We want to help these families. But now we are asking all families that we help, those who are physically and those who are mentally able, because again, not all of these mothers are physically able. I got some mothers who was already mentally challenged before their son got murdered. I got mamas that's in Florida, mamas that's in Mississippi, mamas that's in Escanaba. So, but we want to work with you and we want to help you, but we are asking those who are mentally and physically, when they can, and they're mentally and physically able, to come out and help us physically to support other people, because other mothers and children, and I say the mothers a lot because unfortunately the mamas, the grandmamas, the aunties, the big mamas are largely the ones holding this thing up. They want to get out in the street, but they're scared with some justification. We want to help them. We want to help them to have a better relationship with their detective, or to get a more high energy detective on your case. This is about justice, is what this is about.
All right. If they've got any questions that they want to be able to reach out to you, how can everybody find you?
They can find me at 313-646-3375. That's 313-646-3375. And as always, Brother Terry, I appreciate you, and I appreciate the 910 a.m. Superstation family. Not only the future of talk radio in Detroit and Metro Detroit, but the right here and right now, the present of talk radio.
Thank you, brother. Thanks for getting up and calling us, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And thanks for putting together and giving everybody an opportunity to come out and meet the chief and all of the top brass of the Detroit Police Department. All right?
Yes, sir, my brother.
All right, we'll see you later.
You be blessed now.
Thank you, brother.
Okay,
313-778-7600. Let's talk to Dorian. Good morning, Dorian.
Good morning, Kerry.
What's on your mind this morning, brother?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. One, appreciate Brother Malik, because he is out here every day, every week, trying to get justice for the people who are unspoken for. You know what I'm saying? But let's keep it a beam. The problems that we have right now are self-imposed, as we all know. And like you say, how many times is it going to happen? Probably a dozen more times, if not for the rest of the year. Just here in the city. Why? We have more guns than we have common sense. It's clear. We have more guns than we have common sense. And we're talking about ageism. There's a reason why we got to have caps on certain things. There's a reason why you have to be a certain age to drink, a certain age to smoke, a certain age to be a president, a certain age to handle weapons. And even though you may have the age bracket, okay, I'm such and such age, and so does not make you qualified. And that's the problem with guns. First of all, we've allowed the gun makers to run amok for the last nearly 30 years. As far as AR-15, there was a time in the 80s when there was a large population in most urban communities. Yeah, you had to worry about AKs and Uzis. These were illegal foreign weapons. Not weapons made right here in America that you can go to Walmart and get an assault rifle that rivals an AK-47. And you put those kind of guns in mass in the community, even it's no different. Like, okay, how we look at muscle cars, and you got Challengers and Mustangs and Camaros. Why do we make cars that can go 200 miles per hour? Why do we need stuff like that? Because
Wait, not why do we make them? Why are we surprised that people are out flying up and down the highway in them?
Right. And why are we surprised that, yeah, 6-year-old take a gun because he's playing violent video games for, I don't know, all day long, and picks up a gun that he would often see on a video game and shoot his little brother. That is the problem. Common sense. More guns, less common sense, because in my opinion,
But Dorian, I keep getting taken back to the fact that white folks buy guns too. White folks expose their kids to guns every day. They have just as many, y'all might not know this, but they have just as many guns in their homes as we have in our community. So even though we can, but how come their kids are not picking them up, shooting at each other with them?
They are. We have a mass shooting every other week.
No, they take them out and they shoot other people with them.
Listen, that's them. It's a nationwide problem. And as a president, listen, the old man, we need to put a cap on this. We need to do this. We need to do that. We don't need CP. Why is the American populace walking around like it's God sick? Why is that okay? Was it okay in the old West? It's not okay now. Especially when people have, with all the social media, all the pressure that we have on us, we're going to arm ourselves even more because we're worried about the boogeyman coming in our home. We're worried about the boogeyman who's going to rob me. Everyone thinks a gun is a shield. It's a bulletproof. No, it's not. When you shoot someone, your life changes. People don't understand. I'm not, listen, I like guns, but then I realize as I've gotten older, why do I need to carry a gun? That's to me, that's energy that I don't need amongst me. Where am I going that I feel like, if I feel like I got to carry a weapon to kill people, the only purpose for it is to kill.
Brother, finish what you was going to say, because I want you to say it. If you feel like you got to carry a gun, if you're going over there, don't go.
Don't go. Don't go. I mean, come on, people. I get it. Yeah, you got some predators out here. You got thieves and crooks. But where they getting the guns from? They getting them from y'all. They breaking your house.
Breaking your house and steal your gun. The gun you left unsecured because you didn't want to go out and buy a trigger lock or a safe.
Even me and you can make a phone call to some of our cousins and get a gun before it gets dark again. That's how easy it is. Because guess what? Someone had a gun, they'll do a straw purchase. People don't even. It's too many guns. And everybody just want to be, it's our Second Amendment, the white folks, we got dude, what the heck are we thinking about? I don't understand, Kerry. I really don't. And I heard that on the intel of my night. 6-year-old get shot in my head. It's almost like hearing about an accident on Southfield. This is common as that.
It didn't got to that point, but we have these stories too many times.
Yep.
All right, brother. Have a safe day today. 313-778-7600. 313-778-7600. Let's talk to Tim. Good morning, Tim.
Give me 30 seconds. That's cool. Hey, Kerry, you don't carry a gun to kill people. You carry a gun to protect yourself. And
that's the line that everybody uses.
I don't think he carried a gun. But when you carry a gun, you're less likely to get involved in any arguments because it's on the mind.
That's crap. What makes you believe that? No, Tim, all of the shootings, first of all, the black culture don't need you to tell them about the black culture. But that's not what happens. The folks that are using the guns are people that are carrying the guns, and then because somebody looked at them wrong, stepped on their toe, wore something that they wanted, they feel like I'm a man, so I'm going to pull the gun out and I'm going to shoot somebody.
That's a bad culture. You guys got. Hey, have you ever read Thomas Sowell talks about the black culture being stolen?
Tim, if the black culture is being stolen, guess who's stealing it? Guess who the people are that are doing their best to adopt everything that they can from the Black community. I gotta go to break. 313-778-7600. We got to take the second break of the morning. It's a very quick break. We'll be right back.
Detroit, are you ready for some laughter? Get ready for the Voter Registration Comedy Show on June 30th at 7 p.m. The Detroit Association of Black Organizations is hosting the funniest voter registration event in town. And the best part, it's free. Comedians Randy Rosario, Johnny D, Henry Wells, and T-Bar will have you rolling in the aisle. Trust us, you don't want to miss these comedy geniuses. So what are you waiting for? Get your free ticket today at www.davodetroit.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I had no energy for months and months and months. I had no energy, and I'm a very active person. And my husband was noticing that I was tired all the time, and I was slow at everything that I was doing. And I kept listening to the commercials, and you don't know if something's going to help you or not. But I decided this was something I was going to do. And lo and behold, in about 4 days to taking them, I was repotting plants. I was doing other things. My husband said to me, "You seem to have more energy." And I said, "Oh, yeah, I'm fine." And I'm telling you, nothing has ever made such a difference. So anyway, I'm very happy.
Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code Radio5.
Attention! Do you owe back taxes, fines, and penalties to the IRS? The IRS now offers new relief options for taxpayers affected by COVID-19, but you can't go it alone. Call Tax Solutions now. Our team of former IRS agents and tax professionals can get you the best deal. We know the COVID-19 rules. Call us and never speak to the IRS again.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
The virus has caused the IRS to take extensive action to help taxpayers. So if you owe $10,000 or more, this is the best time in years to settle your tax debt.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
Remember, the IRS will not give up until you pay. Call 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499.
910 AM Superstation has the greatest advertising deal ever with our Godfather package. 100 spots for $600 with a must-air within 30-day policy, and we will even produce the spots free. That's right, free. Call Devin C. now at 248-357-4566. That's 248-357-4566. Or email at d.calhoun@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads.
Welcome back, Metro Detroit. This is Kerry Leon Jackson, your urban conservative. You're listening to 910 AM Superstation, Metro Detroit's only urban talk radio station. The number here in the studio is 313-778-7600. 313-778-7600. Let's go back to the phones and start to Fidel. Fidel. Put Fidel back on hold. We'll go back to him later. Let's talk to Jerome.
Good morning, Kerry.
Good morning, Jerome. How are you?
I'm a little disappointed.
In what?
Because in our police chief, I'm disappointed in our mayor. I'm disappointed with our governor. I'm disappointed with most of our prominent ministers who are allowing them to use them to make excuses for not attacking the underlying cause of crime. I asked the police chief several times, why would he do what Donald Trump said instead of doing what the president of the United States told him to do, what's in public safety? He told them what to do with the money for public safety and what to do about crime. They refuse to do crime prevention programs. They rather to do after the crime program. And that's point blank. And it's a shame that
What crime prevention program do you believe needs more attention?
what needs to be more attention is the people that are making the decisions in the first place.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I'm saying you're saying that they won't try the crime prevention programs. Which crime prevention program? Which nonprofit? Where is it held? Is there a phone number? Which programs are not getting the attention that they deserve? Who are we not? How do we let the community know where the programs are? Go enroll your children in the programs so that they can learn about conflict resolution and things like that. What is it that help us out? What is it? Whatever the understand this. The one thing that we say all of the time. I'm not going to sit around and wait on other people to do it. We've got to wind up doing it. Tell me now, if you can, or call me tomorrow with the names and numbers and stuff, is what programs need more attention? Where are these crime prevention programs? What crime prevention measures do you think they should do? Should they be out in the street more? Should they wind up getting out of the cars, walking around and meeting and greeting the members of the community? Should all of the police departments be open? And should they have community meetings at the precincts once a month so that all of the folks from the neighborhood can get there? What crime prevention things are you saying that you would want the chief to do that are not being done?
I can give you a list if you like.
I would like
a short list. Number one, your police officers making the decision to have your police officers not have residency only made people not want to.
You understand that that's not the police chief's goal right now. I mean, every police chief since residency has been done away with and complained about it, but there's not a doggone thing that our current police chief can do about that. You know that, right?
Let me give you a list. Let me complete the list. Okay. First of all, they refuse to spend one dime comparable to shop, fire, facial recognition, or green lights. No eyes and ears program, no reward for any gun dealers or any people delivering guns to our children. Not one. And they refuse to do it on purpose.
Wait a minute. Slow down. So are you talking about there's a gun buyback program that they haven't taken part in?
It's not the gun buyback program. It's not the problem. The problem is you are allowing people to deliver guns to children. And
how are they allowing people to deliver guns to children? Has there been a gun drop off done by Colombians or white folks or something? I mean, are they driving by and the police won't stop them from going and handing them out? Are they giving them out outside of the school? What is it? Tell me what's going on that the police are not doing anything about.
They're not allowed to do it. Kerry.
What is it they're not allowed to do?
But they're not allowed to. There's no eyes and ears program. They took down 90% of the neighborhood watch time. There's no police officers patrolling the neighborhood.
So slow down. So a specific thing that you want is you want more neighborhood watch programs.
It's a list. I can give you a whole list.
You want more. First of all, I asked for the list, but the first thing is we're getting somewhere now. Is the neighborhood watch programs. You want the neighborhood watch programs to work in conjunction with all of the police departments, their neighborhood officers. What is it you want the police department to form the neighborhood watch programs, or you want the members of the community who already have their own block clubs and their own neighborhood watch programs to somehow be connected in some sort of organized network with the members of the police department? Is that what you're asking for?
Get back our CDCs that were taken away by Kevin Orr for the neighborhood program.
Okay, the CDCs again have absolutely nothing to do with the police chief, but it's an idea that the CDCs gave members of the community a voice. And Kevin Orr, when the city was restructured, they decided we're not going to keep paying these members of the community to go around and have meetings because you've already got elected officials that are getting paid to do it. I got you. So you're saying everybody's always said that we need residency to so that we will be policed by people from our community and not folks from all of the suburbs, and that they can't keep leaving us as soon as they get trained and a little bit of experience. I got you on that. You believe that the CDCs need to be reinstituted here in the city so that more folks can have an actual voice in what's going on when the streets are being cleaned, when the garbage is being picked up in their community. All right. What else?
We need people that are making decisions on black people, and especially our black children, need to be qualified. In order for you to make any decisions on any white children or on any white people, you have to have the necessary hours of accreditation, at least 3 credits, 3 social studies from kindergarten to college. But nobody's required to know anything.
Have you written that down and called the governor's office? Because that's where that complaint needs to go. They're not that all of the Board of Education folks have said they are short-staffed. There are not enough people. They can't hire enough people with the current qualifications so that they can have a teacher and a teacher assistant in the room. So the politicians in Lansing have been looking for ways around that so that they can at least have more physical bodies in the classroom to try to control all of the kids who are wild. But a very good idea. I'm not disagreeing with you, but that idea should be addressed to the governor's office. Go ahead.
Right now, you're representing the governor, you're representing the mayor, represent our children. Make sure that they have the same representation as everyone else. And you guys can fight about this another 400 years if you like. Give our children a level playing field out of the gate. Put the history in the history book, so it will require everybody else to obey the law. You're required to obey the law.
How is putting history in the history books going to require everybody to obey the law when the police are out there shooting people or neighbors are shooting them? Tell me if they learned, what you said is if they learned the history of the exactly how important Black Americans have been, that somehow folks are going to start immediately obeying the law?
If it was a requirement to know them, to know their history in every white child's history book, they will not grow up and make bad decisions on Black people.
Aha! All right, I got you. Let me take another caller, brother. Thanks for all of your ideas. We really, really appreciate them. Have a great morning. Let's go to Carl. Good morning, Carl.
Morning. Thanks for taking my call. In Montana, it's a big state. It's very rural. When the meth epidemic broke out, one of the rich persons in a state, and he was seeing what's happening to the young people. He saturated the airways. He saturated the billboards. Problem with meth. You know, the problem dropped around about 70%, the use of meth and all of that. You know what? I'll tell you a prime example. You take Detroit. All that, just like, advertisement. All our billboards, all these hip-hop radio stations, all that should be saturated. The airways about crime. What will happen to you. Make promises to your parents that you won't go out here and do all that. It's subliminal. If you keep listening to stuff and doing stuff, you become that. Some people become what it is. It's not, the word is really not out like that to a lot of these young people. If you saturate and get into their mind about, if you carjack out here, I ain't talking about some old weak advertising. If you hear a lot of all these hip hop stations, all they do is play smut all day long. They don't tell nothing about, they don't deal with nothing about crime or nothing like that. If you get into a person, that's what I do with my nieces and my nephews and the people in my family when I talk to them. And we don't have that problem, okay? If you put that in their mind, if you saturate the airwaves like that, like we do everything else, we put everything, all these weed billboards, all this stuff out here, if you take federal, city, state money and put that out there like that, like crime prevention, you got 1-800-CRIME and all like that. No, we talking about what will happen to you. Make a promise to your mother and your daddy about going out here doing that. That's what I have my kids do. Make a promise to yourself about doing something ignorant like that. Because you love your mother, but you out here with a gun doing what? You don't love nobody. You don't even love yourself. You're just a demon. You turn yourself into something rotten. That's what you do. If you don't saturate and get into their mind, a lot of these young people, because the entertainment world teaches these kids this. All the entertainment is focused around guts, smut, man. That's exactly. You can't live that. That's entertainment. That's not what you're supposed to live. Because the entertainers out here, they don't call their young kids. Can you imagine Jay-Z calling little blue eyes, hey, what's up, N-word? They don't do that to their kids. They live in the opulence they come from the hood, but when they get that money, they still put that smut out here, man. That's what has ruined our kids, man. All this drug use and all this foolishness saturate the airwaves, man, like we do everything else. Just like somebody doing a campaign, the presidential election. Every time you hear something, you die, oh my God, another commercial? Yes, that's what you put in their mind, and then you can take it to another level. That's what he did out there in Montana and knocked that knocked that meth use down by almost about 70%. They don't have that problem. No
All
more.
right, I got
That's
you.
what I'm just.
I got to go to break, brother. Thanks for calling and for sharing your passion with us. 313-778-7600, 313-778-7600. It's the last break of the morning. We'll be right back.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Kickstart your imagination with Audible. Hear celebrity and music memoirs, mysteries, true crime, and more. Audible is the home of storytelling, audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Sign up for a free trial at audible.com.
WADL gets a facelift and is now My 38 Detroit. Along with a facelift comes new programming. On Mondays at 8 p.m., catch a 2-hour block of Law and Order SVU. Tuesdays, Chicago Fire. Wednesdays, Dateline. More Dateline and Chicago PD on Thursdays and on Fridays. You'll get more Chicago PD to start your weekend. We'll still have some of your favorite shows like Mom, Blackish, and Friends. Just adding more for you to enjoy on My 38. The Word Network has been broadcasting inspirational messages around the world since the year 2000, and we keep getting bigger and better and more innovative. Seen all around the world, we bring you the best teaching, impartation, singing, and inspiration. If you want original programming, we have that too. The Word Network is your exclusive source for all things inspiration, and we can be found on every device imaginable. If you want to be uplifted and inspired, you need the Word Network.
My 38 is offering a great special that cannot be refused. Are you looking for a great deal on TV advertising? Are you searching for an avenue to get your business name out to the public? With My 38, we are offering a great special with 100 commercial ads for a great price. This offer is for a 30-day ad placement. Please contact Devin C. for more information at 248-357-4566 or email at d.calhoun@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads. Have you thought about advertising your business on our 910 a.m. Superstation? Our audience is bigger than ever, and your investment will be lower than ever. Find out how you can grow your business. Give us a call during business hours and ask for Henry, 248-357-4566. We will tell your story, and more folks than ever before will come to your door. 248-357-4566. Ask for Henry. The super audience at our 910 Superstation wants to hear about you. Call now. The all-new 910 Superstation is your #1 source for urban talk radio. If you're looking for the best in radio programming, look no further. You can now listen in on a multitude of audio platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Listen Notes, and coming soon to Amazon Music, Good Pods, and Overcast. 910 AM Superstation, the largest, strongest, 50,000-watt urban radio station in town.
The 910 AM live stream can now be seen on Apple TV, Roku, Chromecast, YouTube Red, iPhone, iPad, Android phone, Android tablet, Amazon Kindle Fire, any Windows phone. Watch us live at 910amsuperstation.com.
Welcome back, Metro Detroit. This is Kerry Leon Jackson, your urban conservative. I don't know if y'all caught this, but the #1 thing that both the last two callers have pointed out, every single thing that they've listed, these are not responsibilities of any of the elected officials. The things that they've suggested, the things that people in your community feel, the steps that should be taken to make our community safer, to get the guns out of the hands of babies who are shooting each other, every single thing that they've all listed comes from you. It comes from you deciding, I care about my community. I care about the members of my family. I'm going to teach kids some handgun safety so that members of our community can walk past guns. Listen, as frustrating as it is, we've got to accept the fact that there are guns in households all across America. And they're not just in white communities or in black communities. Everybody has guns. Our country is gun crazy, so there are guns all over the place. But when you teach your kids basic handgun safety, when you teach them that the gun is not a toy to be played with, that when they see it, they don't touch it, then we should at least get back to the level of the way things, quote unquote, used to be. where the kid knew the gun was in the house and they didn't use it. They didn't pick it up. They didn't go play with mama and daddy's gun. They left it alone. Clearly, we're not there right now. When this is a regular thing that we can wake up and there is, baby found a gun and shot somebody. Baby found a gun and shot himself. Baby got their hands on a gun and took it to school. Baby did this with a gun or that one. Clearly, we're not teaching generation after generation handgun safety. We've got to teach them that it's not a toy and it shouldn't be played with. 313-778-7600. All of the other things and stuff that Jerome suggested, community watch programs, y'all know that not the police department has nothing to do with that. They can join them, but it's up to you to talk to your neighbors. Instead of ignoring your neighbors, you got to get out and talk to each other. You know, everybody get each other's numbers. Everybody know what to be on the lookout for. That's got to come from you. You've got to get out of the house and actually interact with people. Everything that Jerome suggested are things that can be done if you decide that you want to do it. 313-778-7600. Let me see if I can get another call in. Let's talk to Ann. Good morning, Ann. How are you?
Yeah, hi, Terry. How about getting neighborhood groups together and going up and going to the legislators' offices, on a regular basis and just keep bugging them, because I know people have gotten things done that way. So, but also I do think that, and also, banning the assault weapons, because that did work for a time. The killings actually went down, and then that program ended. It was only lasted a short period of time. And I do think the guy that called in about the public service announcements, maybe figure out how to get those generated. I don't know. I wouldn't know the first step on going and getting the PSA announcements, but I do think those work, because I know that was a very successful program with the litter, when they said litter bugs. I mean, all the kids knew about that, and I do think that made a big difference. But again, you'd have to figure out how to get a group together, and how, I don't know where they even generate from.
You talk to your neighbors. 2 or 3 of you get together and say, we've had enough. I've had all I'm going to take, and I'm not taking any more, and I'm going to do something about it.
Yeah,
and you get together and you do it. It's
your legislator and go.
You can have the offices are there; they're open. You can make Lansing pilgrimage to Lansing with you and all of your block clubs. They look forward to hearing from you. Those whoever
and don't do it just once. Go up there on
let them hear from you on a regular basis, so that you can shine the spotlight on them and say, "I'm glad y'all up here. You're working. You still work for us. And you got to keep it up." You're right.
Yeah.
Make your voice heard. Thanks for calling in this morning, Ann.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's go to DJ. Good morning, DJ.
Good morning, Kerry. Did you, this is so, did you hear about the young high school students that shooting at the high school?
Over out in Warren the other day. Didn't just hear about it. The one thing that the news won't run, they ran it the first day. They ran the footage of the boy shooting the gun up while all of the kids was getting on the school buses. Then they stopped running the footage. And so, but you clearly saw the boy with the gun in his hand shooting it. So yeah, and by the way, the kid happened to have the same sort of skin color as those folks who listen to this show. Listen, that school is far enough. It's not a suburban school, really, even though it's located in Warren. It's one of those schools that takes people from everywhere. It includes taking a lot of kids from Detroit. It's a nice, huge campus, charter school. They bring kids in from all over, all the school buses. And for the record, y'all remember, this is not the first shooting at the school bus of somebody who had just gotten suspended and kicked out of school, went home, said, all right, I'm mad at y'all. I'm going to go home and get my gun, and then I'll come back and start shooting. That kid deserves to go to jail, but it should not have been that easy for him to go home, get a gun, and come back. Somebody dropped the ball. I mean, they let Ethan Crumbley in the school with the gun, and you see what happened. When you let a little dangerous little terrorist go home because you kicked him out of school, we can't do I'm going to walk him to the door and push him out the door and say, all right, now we've done. You know good and well that there's going to be a problem.
Yeah. These young people are taking actions without thinking about what's going to happen afterwards. They get the acting out emotionally. They're ruining the rest of their lives, including the lives of the people that they
shoot and that they scared. I mean, you know, all of the kids, those kids, everybody that was standing outside of it, those kids have to be traumatized and like, oh, listen, I'm not even safe. I'm trying to go to school. I'm trying to get an education. We hear about school shootings everywhere else. We hope it doesn't happen here. And then somebody we all know, this fool goes home, gets a gun, and come back and start shooting. Luckily, he didn't shoot at kids. He shot up in the air to scare everybody. Well, guess what? It worked. So,
yeah.
All right. I'm out of time, brother. Thanks for calling. Have a good morning.
Thank you. Take care.
See, y'all, I'm just as frustrated as everybody else. But again, listen to what your fellow caller said. All of the solutions to all of those problems come from you. You got to actually decide that you're going to do something about it. All right, next up, the State Representative Joel Jones. He or a member of the foundation will be here to bring you information and inspiration from 7 to 9, followed by Attorney Anthony Adams from 9 to 11. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock, with Keisha. And I don't exactly know what we're going to talk about, but you better believe it's going to be fun and exciting. So tune in tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. Until then, y'all go out, have I'm not reading that comment. Go out, have a great day, stay safe. I look forward to talking to each and every one of you tomorrow. Deborah, that's not fair. School is trying to give people an education. Come on, y'all. Have a great day.